This has been a sanity saver for me. It really has. And I did not realize how much sound actually bothered me until it went away. Hey, Photo BFFs, and welcome to Season 3 of the Edit Weekly. I am Amanda from Seattle. And I'm Whitney from Minneapolis. And we are so super excited to be back. I cannot believe we are in our third season at this point. Like, I don't even know. I don't know what to do with this other than the fact that, like, pat ourselves in the back and give us a big round of applause that we made it to Season 3. I can't believe it. Yeah, we just keep going, but it's so fun. It's fun. That's why we do this. We love it. We love it.
So much fun.
And
we, over the summer, we were busy. We have at least 4 interviews on the books, one of which we've actually already recorded. I'm really excited about. We've got just so many amazing professionals from the industry who are going to be on the show this season. And I'm so excited. And I'm hoping to reach out to a few more so we can get as many people from as many different points of view and different niches, just to talk about photography and to talk about what you can do because you're starting your business. So I wanted to briefly talk quickly, Whitney, about kind of what we did this summer and before we get into what our episode's going to be about today. So you can start. What were you up to this summer?
So this summer was a summer of family time.
Oh, I love that.
For me
and
for us. So me and my spouse, Peter, my son, Monroe, who is 13, we just wanted to spend a lot of time together. My husband, Peter, is a teacher at Minneapolis Public Schools. He actually teaches audio engineering and video. This year, he's actually doing some video as well. He used to...
cool. I don't think I knew he was going to be doing video.
Yeah. So he was a wedding photographer with me when we did weddings for 6 years. So he has that, but his education is in audio, and he actually teaches podcasting.
I do kind of love that, by the way.
Yes. However, when you're listening to the audio on our podcast, it is not from him. He does not edit it. I want to put that out there because it would be top notch. I'm so proud of him. And so he had the summer off. My son had the summer off. We went to Wisconsin Dells, which was like water park capital of the U.S. So many water slides, everything. We had so much fun. We went to the Boundary Waters, the North Shore, went canoeing. What else did we do? We did so much stuff. My son got super into fishing. So I am not into fishing. I do not eat meat.
So...
But I'm just like with him, he loved it. He'll be like, Mom, how many fish can you name? And I'm like, 3. And I'll say something like salmon. And he's like, well, what type? So I just had fun. I would drive him to go fishing and then just sit there and do my own thing and read. So I really had fun cheering him on. He had a blast.
So awesome.
Yeah. So it was really, really a great summer. Just lots of family time, lots of fun. So so I'm a little bummed that they're back, but also now we get to start the podcast again. I do a few more things for myself.
Exactly. It's like that mix of emotions of when summer ends and fall begins.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, Amanda. Tell us about your summer. And I know you've had a lot.
We've had a lot. We're just going to start with, we've got like a break sandwich is what I'm going to call this. Beginning of summer, or I guess it was like right before summer, my youngest daughter broke her arm. And so that started off our summer. Luckily, her cast came off before the weather got really hot here. As soon as that cast came off, all we did was go to splash pads, basically, all over. We live really close to a beach. We went to the beach a lot. We had so many amazing play dates with friends and just hangouts. And my older daughter did a million camps. My youngest daughter was still in preschool at the time. She's now kindergarten, but her preschool went all the way through summer. So while she was busy hanging out with her friends, doing the things she normally does, my oldest daughter got to go to some super cool camps, an art camp, gymnastics camp, just a sports camp. It was amazing. So while they were doing all those, I got the chance to really get some things done around the house that needed to get done, which was great. I took some time for myself as well, just to go like walk by the water and to swing in our swing underneath my favorite tree and just like kind of spend some me time while the kids had other things going on, which was so wonderful. Living in the Pacific Northwest, we have an amazing summer, so we never want to travel anywhere. We just want to stay here to enjoy it because we put up with so much crappy weather the rest of the year to have a summer. So I felt like we had a true Pacific Northwest summer. My daughters also really wanted to go fishing. So one of our really good friends, they had got a new boat, so we were able to go up into the like Puget Sound and San Juan Islands. They took us fishing. We went crabbing. Just so wonderful. And yeah, neither of my girls caught anything, but they were very excited to at least have like kind of learned what fishing is all about, which is really just hanging out with friends and having a good time while you're hoping that maybe you'll catch something. But we did have like a fresh crab dinner one of the nights, and it was like, oh, so amazing. So lots of friends, lots of family time. Really good to just reconnect to people that we had not seen in a while because of, you know, all the school year stuff. And then so my daughter's break was at the beginning of summer, and my break happened at the end of summer. Literally the last week of August, I broke my foot. So yes, it's the summer. It's a weird summer sandwich. Yes. So now I'm dealing with a broken foot and not being able to work for quite a few weeks. And so I'm glad we've got this podcast because this I can do. Yes. What y'all can't see off camera is that my leg is elevated and I have a pillow under it and an ice pack on it because I have to do this for 50 minutes of every hour for the first couple of weeks post-surgery.
And I just, when you first texted me about it, I was like, oh, because a break for a photographer, it's such a physically grueling job. And even if it's not always grueling, you just have to be physically able to perform. Yeah. And so when when something happens, it just like
it was terrible. Not something I expected. And like a lot of our listeners, the fall tends to be like one of our busiest seasons especially if you're a family and child photographer, because everybody wants those pictures for the holiday cards. And so I have had to reschedule 10 photo sessions. I've had to turn down photo sessions because I just can't. My surgery is one where I cannot bear any weight on my foot for 6 weeks at least. So I am about to enter week 2. I still have 4 more weeks where I cannot put any weight on it. So that has it is just, not a fun way to end the summer, unfortunately. But it is what it is, and trying to make the best of it.
Yes. And this, we were just texting this morning, has inspired a conversation about what do you do when something like this happens? How can you be prepared in your business and your life? Because these are things that happen, whether it's a break or any sort of medical issue that can happen. What do you do? How do you prep your clients? If you're shooting weddings, where you cannot reschedule the day. You can't push a wedding off for 6 weeks until you're back.
Cannot do that.
So, so that we will be doing a podcast on that. And Amanda is graciously going to talk some about what you can do to prepare. And I have some tips as well for that.
Exactly. Some stuff I wish I maybe had, had in place ahead of time. I will
Always
talk.
learning.
Yes, right. Exactly. That it is. So today, what we decided is we both did some things over the summer where we got some new tech. And one of the things I got were these Meta glasses, and I used them a lot this summer. Not only in work, but in personal life as well. So I've been playing around with them a bunch, and Whitney has her new AirPods. So we thought that today would be a great intro for season 3 to just talk about our new favorite tech that we discovered over the summer. Mm-hmm. Okay, Whitney, you want to talk first about your AirPods?
Yes. So I was wanting new noise canceling headphones. So I had some big ones from Amazon that said noise canceling. They were $30. Now that I have real noise canceling headphones, I'm like, no, they were not noise canceling headphones. So I went back and forth about these AirPods because I was like, I want these giant ones. And it was more so that when I did have to work while my family was home, I could concentrate because I am very sensitive to sounds, to things going on around me. I've always been like that. And so when my family's here, I can hear everything going on. So I was like, I want to tune out the world. Long story short, I ended up getting the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I also decided to get the AirPod Pros because I was like, maybe these would be good to have when things are, I'm going on a walk and things are loud outside. We live not too far from the airport. I am in love with these. I really am. I was not expecting it. I tried on my spouse's and because he liked his. And I was like, these aren't comfortable. They actually are a lot more comfortable now that I've gotten used to them.
Okay.
I go outside, I'll go on these walks, stuff's going on. And I actually did not realize how loud the world was until I got noise canceling headphones. Things are really loud. And so this has been a sanity saver for me. It really has. And I did not realize how much sound actually bothered me until it went away. So now I'm actually able to be in places that used to make me really uncomfortable because I'm able to wear these.
That's awesome.
And not get as stressed as I used to. So I have been thinking about, especially my work in weddings, and what I would give to have had these at weddings, because those are sensory overload. And that is when you go to a wedding and there's loud music and there's people talking, and it can be so overwhelming and exhausting. It is really one of the most exhausting parts of it. And to be able to block out some of that noise while you work would have just been just a really calming benefit to have. If I was still shooting weddings, I would bring these to every wedding. I think they could be used for if you're working with kids that can get very loud. Really anywhere that you go that something seems overwhelming, there's such a great thing to have. So even if somebody calls, you've got these in here. If you're talking to an assistant, answer. You don't have to pick up your phone. Answer through your headphones. And I want to tell you a little bit about why these are different than just having earplugs or, any other earbud that you might have. I'm sure there are other earbuds that are great and that do noise canceling. Did I say noise counseling?
It did sound like noise counseling. Noise canceling.
Which they are. My AirPods Pros are noise counseling. They help me get through the noise, but they have different kind of levels that you can put them on. You can do pure noise canceling. You can do adaptive, and that is where if something gets very loud, it'll add more of the noise canceling. If I start to talk to somebody, I can set them up so that when I start talking, they actually stop the noise canceling, and then I can hear them. So I could do that either automatically, or I can just click. There,
yeah,
put them. And for those of you listening, I'm just showing mine. I'm wearing them now. I'm not using the microphone for the podcast. I use this, but this is how I hear. You can just click it to go through things. There's so much that you can do with these. They can be used as hearing aids. They do a sound test where they will check to see if you have lost some hearing. And I haven't. They have different size tips to make them more comfortable. It'll test for all that. I mean, there's really so many cool things that they do. Why I wanted to share this is I just think it's such a great idea if you're working in a loud environment. Or even if it's not loud, if you're one of those people that gets really overwhelmed with too much sound, too much going on, you have trouble concentrating, whether you're doing a photography session or whether you're trying to get work done and you have people in the house, whatever you're doing, they're just really, really great. When I bought them through Costco, and they were, I think at the time they were about $189, but it included Apple Care Plus. So
that's
if they
so
get
awesome
damaged,
that includes it.
It includes it. If you buy it full price, I think they were around $249. What is the date? We're September 15th when we're recording this.
I know, we got to make sure that we
announced
yes in there.
So they have announced the release of the AirPod Pro 3. And I just looked at the price. They're $249. they're around the same price as this. Looking at the difference, basically a lot of upgrades, better noise canceling. It sounds like you're going to have better sound in them. So there is going to be a lot of upgrades. And a really cool thing that they have is they have automatic translations. So if you're listening to somebody
Heard about this, which
speaking
is so cool.
a different language, you're able to hear it translated. Just mind blown, because think about, especially if you're doing weddings where you're an English speaker and the main language at the wedding is not English, you're going to be able to understand more. I was thinking like it would be hard to have a whole conversation because they would need like
exactly. They would need to know what you were saying, but you would at least be able to understand what was being said.
Very, very cool. Highly recommend them. Definitely like worth the money. And for what it can do, it's definitely worth it to help anybody that is sensitive to sound.
I love that.
So
That's
that is
really awesome.
that is me. I'm very excited about them. I looked at the price difference. Spend the extra $50. Get the upgraded one.
Get the upgraded
That's
one.
what I do. I kind of wish I had those now, but I'm not. I am somebody that I will use these until they fall apart.
No.
So
I know how that goes. I tend to be the same way too. I'm like, I already paid for it. I don't want to have to like get it again. I'm going to use these until they don't work anymore.
Yes.
Oh, that's super cool. I knew nothing really other than I had heard about the release of the new ones and that they had the translation option. And I was like, that's just the coolest thing ever that we've got that. But other than that, I have not heard anybody review them. So that's really cool to know about it.
Well, just even being able to talk, that's why I think they're so perfect for a wedding, is having that adaptability, because I never wore earplugs. I didn't even think about wearing earplugs because I want to be able to talk to people.
Exactly.
And again, you're taking earplugs in and out. Maybe you don't hear them. And this way you just have a lot more control. It's going to notice things, and you can set them so that you do hear everything if you want to. So I did learn that when taking walks, especially at night, I need to hear everything. Because I did get scared a couple times.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
I did not know somebody was coming. But yeah, I love them. When I've talked on the phone with people, they don't sound the best according to them. I haven't heard it. Okay. So that is something to think about. Hopefully the new ones have upgraded. So now, Amanda.
Yes.
When we talked about this briefly before we started recording, your glasses do some of the same things that my AirPods do. So I cannot wait to hear about them.
It's very interesting.
And also, you look very cute with the glasses.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to preface this by saying that I did not have the intention to buy these. This was, I had seen that like on Instagram, a bunch of photographers talk about having these. They're the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. So they've got cameras on each side. On the inside of the side piece here, they've got speakers so you can hear. And I had seen some photographers talk about how they were using it for social media. They would be on a photo session, they'd click this little button, and they'd record or take photos while they were doing stuff. It didn't require any extra gear, if you will. Like I've got one of the cell phone mounts to put on the tripod, and you get that all set up, and then you have to make sure it's like aimed the right way. So there's a lot more setup when you're doing those sort of things. And a lot of photographers that I had heard about these from said that this was like an easy way to create social media posts and to show behind the scenes without really having to have much extra with you. So I had gone in for an eye appointment, and the optometrist I saw was like, hey, with your insurance, you have a credit for glasses. Do you want to just look around? And I was like, well, I don't really have much of a prescription. I had LASIK years ago, and luckily that LASIK is still holding up. But she was able to find like the tiniest itty bitty prescription. And she's like, you can use this benefit if you want. So I took a look around just for fun, and I saw the Meta glasses, and I was like, okay, normally like I would have just been like, no, I don't need anything.
Yeah.
But if my insurance is going to, like, let's figure out how much they're going to cost and see if they're going to be worth it. So after I pulled up a bunch of numbers so I can give people comparisons. But for me, Lens Crafters was the place that I went to because that's where our insurance was through. They had this like shiny black as the only option. So in this specific store, they literally had one option, which was the Wayfarer style in shiny black. So I was like, okay, plus side, I didn't have to make any decisions. It was if I want them, this is what I'm getting. The base price was $299. And then they were able to put a prescription lens in here for me, which also covered the blue light ease to help me if I can wear them if I'm doing a lot of computer work, if I'm watching different, whatever it may be. So they included all that for a prescription lens in there. So I ended up, they told me that the total before anything, because you can do a protection plan. So the total before anything else would end up being with insurance, $334.09.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
And so in comparison, I went and looked on the website to see if I could just get them straight off of the Ray-Ban website, which you can, and it was more expensive. It was $348.55 by the time you brought in sales tax. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I had some plus side of knowing my business and knowing my numbers. I knew I had some wiggle room in my budget for either a marketing thing or, just something I could use as an office expense. So I decided to make these my marketing expense because I'm going to be able to use them to create videos in order to market myself on social media. So I decided to go for it. And
now, will you be able to write these off then?
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
I'm using them. And that's the thing is I went in with absolutely no plan to buy glasses because I don't need them and decided, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give these a shot. I've seen a lot of people use them. I'm getting really tired of trying to set up my tripod, my cell phone holder for that, just to hope I get something good. And half the time when I would shoot video, it made families uncomfortable, because it's so right there. And I found some families didn't want that, which I also totally understand. When I'm photographing little kids, their attention is drawn to that a lot of the time and not to me. So I found that there were some things lacking in my ability to actually get behind the scenes footage. So I think the big thing is what I've learned is you really need to let people know ahead of time, hey, my glasses have the ability to record. I'm going to let you know ahead of time, are you okay if I record? And if so, you're going to see a white light pop up here when I record, and then you'll know that I'm doing it. So I like to give everybody the heads up. And actually it's funny because when you set everything is through an app on your phone. So when you set that up, that's actually one of the first things that they cover on there is a whole, hey, you need to let people know that you are using this as a recording device, which I thought was really interesting. That must have been a very, some lawyer at Meta, I'm sure, made them put that in there. But yeah, you can tell when I have them on. Let's see if I can actually turn them on and make them work. I usually don't turn them on if I'm going to be doing stuff like this, only because the speakers interfere with my headphones that are in, but we'll try these on and see. But anyways, while they are turning on, because it takes a minute for them to I can see on the inside of the frame a little light that's flashing telling me that they're getting ready.
How cool.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Nobody else can see that part except for me. And then it does this little tone and tells me how much percentage I have left on the battery. 93% is what it just told me, and it has a little thing. But there's a little button right here, and if you click that once, you can see it. That takes a picture. And if you hold it down, let's see if I can do that. It is now recording. And it stays like that. So you can't really be that sneaky with it.
Yeah.
Because people can see it. And then to stop.
See the...
Exactly. So if you don't do anything with this, it times out after, I think it's 3 minutes is where it usually stops at. It doesn't go on indefinitely. I learned that the hard way because I recorded a bunch of stuff that I thought would end up being on there, and it didn't. It cut off after 3 minutes. But if you want to just stop it, you click it again, and it goes. All of the images and video you take go to the app, the Meta app on your phone, and then you can import those to your phone.
I was wondering that. Okay.
Yeah. So that's how it works. Downside is that if you don't have a lot of space on your phone, it takes up so much space. All these videos take up a ton of space. So what I just started doing was basically after a photo session, if I had used these while I was downloading everything from my car, uploading everything from my card onto my computer, I would then at the same time go on my phone and I would choose which videos I wanted to keep. I'd have them download to my phone, and then I would immediately take them from, I have an Android user, I'm a Google Pixel. So I would go to the photos Google site and then just download everything I needed, save them to the client file that I have along with all of their images from the session. And then I would delete it off of my phone just because I was running out of storage. So for me, that works. I think for somebody else that may not be as easy, but I've made it part of my workflow. So I think if you do that,
and it keeps you from getting too much. I mean, it sounds like that's a good way to make sure you don't lose the files or forget about them and just have a whole bunch that you have to go back in later.
Yeah. So for me, that works out great. And that was something that they warned me about ahead of time. The other thing they warned me about is the more that you use it, the video function, the battery drains pretty quick. So most of my sessions are anywhere between 60 to 90 minutes. The 60-minute sessions I usually have no problem with. The 90-minute sessions I definitely find I am running incredibly low, if not out of battery by the time that session is over. Again, depending on how much it is I'm actually recording. One of the downsides that I have found is that these are incredibly comfortable, so I forget that I'm wearing them. And sometimes I forget to even record footage because I just forget that I have them on. Whereas, when you have your cell phone right next to you and it's recording stuff, that's easy. You're not going to forget that as you're like moving to your next spot with your client. So definite downside is that there'll be sessions where I'm like, crap, I literally did not record anything more than the first couple minutes because I didn't think to do it again. But plus side is that it does make it really easy. I've created some easy reels with this to just have behind the scenes footage. Downside, you don't end up being in the video yourself. So if you yourself as a photographer are trying to like get your image out there more, this is not going to be a good option. This really just kind of works for having, whether it's showing a specific location that maybe you want to highlight or just having like a family doing something and you run, text or audio over it. But you definitely will not get yourself in there. So I do find that when I need videos that showcase myself doing something, I still go back to using my phone. So, there's that. Sense. So it doesn't work for everything. I mean, I definitely have not tried like taking my glasses off and setting them somewhere and doing something. Definitely have not done that. But for what they are, for me, it was worth it. And especially the fact that I was able to get insurance to cover it. I did want to go over the numbers for anybody that wants to know. Had I gone without insurance, what I'm wearing right now with the prescription lenses would have been $680 and a little bit of change. And I only paid $334 and some change. So it's significant with the prescription lenses. I'm going to actually take these off right now because I'm currently getting a call and my calls come through here and I can now hear them. So I have to take it off. I could turn it off, but I'm choosing because of where we are recording right now. I'm taking it off. So there is that benefit too, that you can take calls from these as well. I have heard also anybody I've taken a call with though says the microphone does not sound good. And they usually prefer that I have my phone up to my mouth when I'm talking instead of talking through there. So there's that downside as well. But anyways, I also went to go see if just straight up on Ray-Ban's website, they have other options that I wasn't given. So you can do a matte black, which actually I think I would have preferred that had I had the choice. They can do matte or shiny. You can have sun lenses, so they'll act as sunglasses, which for me felt like that would be too constrictive. Like if I'm going to be inside trying to get video footage, I don't want to have sunglasses. You can do transition lenses, which will change depending on your light situation. Again, I don't love that option. And then they have the blue light ease is what they call it. And that is just kind of your standard lens, but it does protect against the blue emitting lights. So the glasses themselves are $299. The lenses ranged on Ray-Ban's website as of September 2025, anywhere between $17 and $97, depending on which option you did. So without tax, just your base price would be $316. So that's not a prescription lens. That's just any one of those other options, but your state sales tax would apply to that. I am going to put out there, I know we've talked about Rakuten before. They currently have a 4% cash back availability on it. So if you have that rewards program that you've signed up for, you can click that on your computer while you're buying it and get 4% cash back, which is a really cool option that they actually have that on there right now.
Awesome.
So just a way to be able to get a little bit extra. The other thing I want to mention is that they do have a optional protection plan, which I did opt for, $49.99. It's the exact same on Ray-Ban's website as well. It covers cracked or scratched lenses. It covers cracked frames. It also covers breakdown due to normal wear and tear, is what it said on the site.
Okay.
And then it also protects against defects in the material. So it doesn't mean they're going to replace it for you outright. For $49.99, if you pay that, they will replace your glasses for $39.99 if you don't have a prescription. And if you do have a prescription, they'll give you the exact same thing you've already had for $99.99.
Okay.
So
Yep.
what the optician told me to do, which I was like, okay. She was like, get the protection plan and put on your calendar a year from today, because that's how long this lasts. And basically go back a couple of days and come back and see us at that time. Opt in for your, basically $100, and you'll get a whole new pair of glasses that'll last you for another year. And she was like, it's just a way to be able to get that next pair. Because she's like, chances are within a year, there will be scratches. There will be something going on with it. Take advantage of the fact that you're paying $50 now. And then you'll have like basically a whole new pair of glasses for $100 as opposed to $334. So that is her tip that she gave me. So I'm passing that along to everyone there.
Yeah. Because they are, I mean, normal like glasses get scratched so easily.
Exactly. Yep. So that was, so that's it's in my calendar. I've got the date. Where I can go back in and do that. But I thought that was really cool she brought that up. So I keep them in the case every time I'm not using them and not wearing them. The case itself charges them. So there's like a little port right here. So you pop them in here, they start charging.
So fancy.
Yeah, it's like, it's pretty cool. So these are ones that I would recommend. I'm really happy with them. And I was surprised how much I've used them. Yep. So that was my summer tech.
It's just wild to me how much is out there, and it's just going to get better and better. One of these days we'll be able to get some fun little frames like this, and they're going to cost $50,
Exactly.
I don't know. It's just like,
no, it's so true. And be able to have all that. And that's the thing too, is that basically anytime Meta makes any sort of update, that is available on my glasses. So same thing with, like, you talked about how your AirPods will do the translation, the live translation. Yeah. Mine will too. I just have to download a specific app that Meta wants me to, and it'll do the translation. And it's just the coolest thing. I haven't tried it out yet, but I really want to, just to see what it's like. And I did discover I had to give a speech over the summer, and I ended up using note cards just because that was going to be easier. But I did kind of play around with, there's a feature in the glasses that allows you to like pre-record things, or to put in like a Word document and like upload it, and it will read it to you and give it to you at a pace where you can hear it and speak it. So it allows you to be a speaker in front of people without having to look at any notes and without having to actually memorize what it is that you wrote. So that was something that was really cool too. And I didn't end up using it because I didn't prep myself with enough time, but I was like, this would be really cool for the future. I'm thinking about if any, photographers or industry professionals want to be able to have like themselves in their ear as they are speaking to the audience, just as like maybe a reminder, or if you haven't memorized everything, or it just would be a really cool option to have. So I'm thinking there's so many different uses that you could have for it. It's like Photoshop. I use like 10% of Photoshop, but there's like 90% out there. So I feel like it's the same way with these glasses. I'm using them for like 10%, but there's 90% out there that I haven't even discovered and what else it could be used for.
Yeah. And see, well, I wonder if there's some sort of app that you can do through your headphones then that would do the same thing.
I mean, I got to imagine that, something would. So I don't know. I mean, these are my headphones. These are not doing anything fancy. So I got to imagine though that like the AirPods, looking into something like that as an option too. So just so much cool tech to be able to use in our industry. I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Just application outside of our industry as well. So like even these, I wasn't even thinking about photography. I mean, I was thinking about work. Just be able to get work done.
Yeah.
It's amazing, all the new stuff that is coming out all the time.
So cool.
And it's fun.
It is fun. It really is.
It's really fun. It's wild to me, the world my 13-year-old is growing up in.
I know. Like, this isn't totally like outlandish to him that you can do this. It's like, it's just what's going on now. Versus us. We're like, what? This is so cool. And for them, it's just like, this is just you've never had this before.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, and
Sorry, kiddos.
AI?
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Yeah.
Seriously. I know so many
Yeah.
things. So, listeners, we want to know, is there any tech that you use all the time that you want to tell us about? We're really curious to see what other things are out there that are helping you in your business or your personal life that, you didn't expect to use for business, but now have found a business application for it. So, let us know in the comments. We're really curious, or send us a message on Instagram. I would love to know and hear more about that and just find out other ways and share them with our community of things that we can do to help each other out and to help us with our businesses and run them more successfully with the help of tech.
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us for our first episode of season 3. We are so excited to be back, and we cannot wait just for this whole season to unfold and for y'all to see what we have for you. So if you are on social media, please feel free to follow us on The Edit Weekly. We are over on Instagram. We are on YouTube as well as The Edit Weekly. And like and subscribe, and please tell all your photographer friends, because we would love to be able to have them get all this information as well and just help each other out as we all run our businesses as photographers.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see you next time, BFFs.
See you next time.
Bye.
Okay, Photo BFFs, if you have not subscribed, do that right now so you never miss a new episode. You can also find us at theeditweekly.com, where we have free resources and downloads for you to help grow your photo business.